I'm in another new little location that I've never actually been to before, and it's near the seaside. I can see the sea in front of me. I'm watching below because I'm walking down steps at the moment and I don't want to miss. I'm in a place called Tresaith. There's a waterfall down here apparently, and it's quite an interesting waterfall that comes off a cliff and into the sea. So let's go and have a look. So if you're coming down here and you're going to come this way, don't drive to the bottom of the hill. Follow the actual signpost to the beach car park, which is at the top of the hill, and then you walk down a few steps and you actually come out on the beach at the bottom, which is a lot easier than driving to the bottom, getting stuck with all the cars going back up the other way. So I'm probably guessing that the waterfall is probably somewhere over here because there's people stood on the cliff looking up. So I'm assuming the waterfall's going to be hanging off this mountainy sort of cliffside here. So let's go and have a nose and see if it's actually worth me carrying my bag down the hill and getting a photograph. But what we are deciding, I think we're going to go back up to the van and get some swimming stuff and come down and have a bit of a cold water dip in this yonder water just here. We'll see. Ooh, the tide's coming and get us. I've just seen the waterfall and it's gushing. The tide is on its way out, I think, so we should be okay. But yeah, just look at this. Just about there. We've got water piling out the cliffside. So I think I need to get myself in a position that I can actually get a photograph of it and see if we can make something interesting out of this. So the camera is on the tripod and I've got a first image set up, and I brought the camera relatively low because I've got some rocks in front of me, which is just cleaning up the beach. I've got almost got some leading lines coming in off these rocks pointing in that direction towards the waterfall. And if the sun was to come back out, we were getting a rainbow at the bottom of the waterfall just now, where the spray is. But the sun has just gone in for a moment, so I'm going to grab a shot before the sun comes back out, just because that gives you that nice muted, softer colours and tones to the rocks. But then if the sun does come out, we'll see how harsh it gets, but it will make it a lot harder to take the photograph. But I have got to bracket this because the dark black rocks against that white bright sky is very difficult on the dynamic range. So I'm going to make my way down there in a minute, but first of all, this is the first shot. Have a quick look at this one and then we'll try a polarizer and wait for the sun to come out. So let's try and explain what I mean about these rocks. Let me just spin you around. So here are our rocks. Camera's set up in a vertical. So the idea is having these lines here, these rocks here, leading you down into the waterfall there. And the beauty of this is because down there are some people getting changed. By coming down here, you can see I'm hiding them people and just getting the rocks leading in that way. And if I was to spin the camera around onto a vertical, you can see now how I'm getting these nice diagonal lines leading in that way. That is then looking more like my composition with these lines leading you down there, coming over this way more, getting rid of these people down the bottom and using the waterfall then as a background to look at. So it makes a difference just by moving that camera just a little bit to hide people out of the way. I think I'm also going to try a horizontal shot as well, a nice horizontal shape, because it's leading you out to the sea as well. And if I flip you around, you can see what I mean. You get this nice water and you get this nice sort of beach pit there with this big clump of rock. So that has a scene there as well. It's actually quite nice. So we'll flip the camera around and give that a go as well. It's actually a really, really cool waterfall. I really like this. It's pretty spectacular. And my little friend is just there as well, Miss Marta, who's getting a bit close and probably getting a bit wet in the spray and slipping on the rocks, which is not fun, but you can see the size of it with her just underneath it there. It looks pretty cool. It's quite an impressive waterfall. And I've come down onto the beach now. I was stood back up on these rocks, and I'm just thinking this would be amazing to get this water flow in here, but I can't get in the right place to actually get the shot. But yeah, I'm going to try and snap a quick shot with Marta underneath the waterfall, because it just give you a sense of scale. I did get some other people in it just now, but it's absolutely peeing down, and again, that really puts my photography on hold. I just can't seem to shoot in the rain and change lenses and do the stuff. It's just so difficult to do in the rain. But yeah, what an impressive waterfall. And without the rain, you wouldn't be getting that flow, would you? So I'm really quite struggling at the moment because I'm standing on a rock trying to avoid getting very wet by this water. The tide seems to be coming in, I think, or definitely coming towards me. And yeah, I want to get in the water to the extent that I want to get into the flow of the water, but I just can't get closer to where I want to be. So I'm hoping that where I'm standing now, I'm going to get a slightly deeper wave and get a bit of water coming up and give me a bit of a wash in front of it, but I certainly can't go, there's one now, I can't go any further to the left, because if I do, I'm going to get very wet. But this is a beautiful thing to shoot. It's just very hard to get in the position you want when the tide's doing what it's doing. So yeah, I've got a little tiny ND filter on, and I've got the polarizer on, and there's another bit of water coming in now, and I just want to try and get that flow, that movement of water in the bottom left hand side of the image. I'm about 1/5 of a second at f8 ISO 125, so yeah, an impressive waterfall, very cool to look at and watch, but you can make it quite hard to shoot because of where it's actually situated. The rocks are stunning. If I could put the wide angle lens on and get a bit closer to some of the rocks, there's some beautiful lines in the rocks. It's just, yeah, I'm struggling. My hands are freezing. I'm very cold. I'm conscious of the wind and the tide, and the rain keeps coming in. And for me, there's a lot of stress levels, all for one photograph. But let's hope it's worth it. Wow, when you get close to this thing, it starts to get really impressive. And when the wind catches it and starts blowing it sideways, that's something else. But my God, am I freezing? The wind's coming down the back of my neck. It's absolutely freezing me. And I've got myself perched on this rock, which is not the most comfortable thing on my legs, but I'm doing my best to try and get a couple of shots. I've got the trigger on rapid fire, so I'm trying to catch it as the wind hits it. It's blowing it across. This is like a Faroe Islands type of waterfall, which is where I'm going to be in a couple of weeks. Well, next, I'm going to be there next week, literally a week away from being on the Faroe Islands again. I'm just hoping that sunlight can pop out behind me though and cast that rainbow at the bottom, because that is going to be cool. And I think I really want a selfie with it. So let's see if I can set the camera up for one. We got rainbow action. We got full-on rainbow action. So I've zoomed in to try and get the picture of the rainbow. And I think I may have caught a pretty good one. But you've got to remember, when you've got a polarizer on, you've got to turn that polarizer off to get the rainbow. Otherwise, you just can't see it. But yep, we've definitely got colours in the rocks. Looking pretty awesome. That was flipping epic. If I can have some of that maybe on the Faroe Islands next week, I'll be well made up. But that is flipping fantastic. Really, really cool. So I zoomed the lens right in tight just to get the picture of the rainbow. So you've got these beautiful, beautiful colours leading over to the left-hand side and all the frothy water on the right-hand side. Then I turned it over onto vertical, so I was getting a more of a downward slope. And then I flipped it a little bit wider and pulled it out even wider still. But yeah, you've got to remember, take the polarizer off, otherwise you won't see those waterfall reflections. Look at the water at the moment, it's bouncing across the rocks, it's so big. I'm zoomed in a little bit, but yeah, it's pretty epic stuff to say the least, especially in little old Wales. Now I've got the camera on rapid fire and I've just literally keeping my finger on it. Look at a big gust of water now. Wow! And the rainbow at the same time. The sun's coming back out. Here we go again. It's like a fairground ride. This is stunning. But you've got to keep shooting as many as you can, because one of them is going to be definitely better than the other. So I've come round right over next to the rocks now, right close to the wall, so you can see the actual proportion of the waterfall shoving itself out over the top. Now, yeah, it's not as good of image, but I suppose it's got to be taken just to have a look at it and see the difference. So yeah, it's not quite as good, but I'll put it up on the screen next to me while I'm talking. But yeah, the way the water's jetting out looks pretty awesome. And it's just non-stop, it's like someone's turned a tap on up there and just not going to turn it off. I think that's the perfect amount of water on the perfect amount of wind, just to give you that, the spray, the way it looks fantastic. Really, really cool. Better to watch than it is to take a photograph from this side. Now I've got my selfie obviously, and yeah, she's good. In comes the rain, so I'm going to cover you up now, get you covered up, and yeah, I'm just going to hide out this rain for a little bit, give the camera a cover, and see if it lays off again. We're going to get wet. Right, so we are huddled behind this rock, this massive big rock here, because the rain is coming in absolutely insane, and I am freezing. My hands are actually shaking. They're so cold. The temperature's not warmed up, and I'm just looking into this cave. Yeah, so we're hiding behind this rock because the rain came over pretty hard. I think it's just died off a little bit, and it does actually make the rocks look even better and the pictures look even better, but I think I've got enough to say I've got enough. So look, this has been a fantastic little short video for you. Probably not the shortest, but lots of little photographs of rainbows and colours and all sorts of pretty waterfalls. Don't forget to give us that thumbs up. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and you'll get to see more videos from me. And I'm going to do a quick run back to the van, warm up, get some food and some coffee, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now. See you soon. Bye. You wouldn't believe this, but look at what's going on behind me. We have got the most amazing rainbow and waterfall combination I have ever seen in my entire life. This is the strongest, brightest rainbow that you could possibly imagine. You can even see it over my shoulder. What a way to finish a video. It's got to give me a thumbs up. It's got to, really has got to give me a thumbs up. Just look at that. got to switch you back on just to sort of give you how much I am shaking with excitement that I've just seen and what I've just witnessed. You don't get this happen in your lifetime very often, but to get a waterfall like that with a double blisteringly sharp, as bright rainbow as what you've just seen, and now I've got the rain showers going back off through the rainbow and cutting it in half. It's just, that last couple of photographs, I hope you have gasped and witnessed the excitement of what I've just seen. And I've just said to Marta then that is beyond probably the best rainbow I've ever seen in my entire life. To be coupled up with this amazing waterfall that's gushing over the side, the light, the sky, the colours were just absolutely like nothing else. Now, if I've managed to get some of these lines in the rocks at the same time, that is just like everything, absolutely everything. So yeah, I'm definitely finishing the video now on the biggest smile, on the biggest hype, because I was really down and depressed about 3 hours ago, and this is really, a cup of coffee now, slice of cake and a biscuit. I might as well die. I'm going. Ciao. Bye bye.